Okay, so 2 years ago, the Chiefs took down the Bengals 23-20 in the AFC Championship game, despite Patrick Mahomes being hobbled by a badly sprained right ankle and won on a last-second kick. Last year, as we know, Kansas City took down Baltimore 17-10, and it was a story of vintage Mahomes to Travis Kelce magic, despite their offense struggling at different points in the regular season. So according to ESPN Bet, Kansas City is the favorite to become the first team in league history to win 3 straight Super Bowls. The AFC North has 2 teams in the top 6. Baltimore, who lost to KC in the conference championship, and Cincinnati, who was the only team in the division to not make the playoffs last year. All right, look at this little squad that we have going on here.
Little squad? That hurts my feelings.
No, not like you guys are little, but like the squad.
Once
we have
again,
a little gathering.
You know what I'm saying? Wakanda forever.
It's cute. I feel like I should be the one saying that. Kimberly and Bart Scott here joining us. Obviously, KD's here as well. Kmart, do you think that Baltimore or Cincy is a bigger threat to Kansas City this year?
All right, I'm not going to lie. This question is hard for me because last year I had picked the Ravens to actually be in the Super Bowl, beat the 49ers, and be Super Bowl champs at this point. The answer should be Baltimore. But when I look at them, I get frustrated because especially that play, listen, they are too talented. Last year, to me, was so disappointing for Lamar Jackson to have an MVP-type season, an MVP season, and for them to completely forget who they are and what got them to that point, and to be playing against the Chiefs, make uncharacteristic mistakes. For Lamar Jackson to forget, it's almost like he forgot his superpower, like what makes me different. Like, I'm him. Nobody's like me in the NFL. I'm so dynamic. And for them to forget that they run the ball effectively, I just need the Ravens. They have the talent. They got Derrick Henry. Is Derrick Henry the missing piece that's going to earn them a Super Bowl? I don't think so. It's a wonderful addition. But I think the real issue to me, and obviously as a former Raven, you can speak to this, but it's just, remember who you are in those moments because you have the talent. Lamar Jackson, I need him to put on the cape and be like, I don't care what anybody says about me, what they think about me. I'm going to show you that I will win my way no matter the situation. So I want to say the Ravens. It should be the Ravens. But because Joe Burrow and the Bengals are in their division and because I've seen Joe Burrow with my own eyes beat Patrick Mahomes, I don't know, guys.
So at what point are you going to answer the question?
Listen, Harry.
You gave this whole soliloquy, and I'm like, is she picking the Ravens? Is she picking the Bengals?
Soliloquy.
Like, listen, Stephen A. Just listen, Stephen A.
Who you
sitting in that seat, don't try to use big words on me. Don't try to sit in that seat.
learning, right?
Okay.
Who you picking?
That chair got you feeling some type of way. You better calm down.
No, who you going with?
First of all, you speaking on my head. I got an associate's degree, man. You can't use it. I need origin of word and definition. You know what I'm saying?
I want to say the Ravens, but I'm not going to say it with my chest like I normally do. I'm going to say the Ravens.
I mean, so here's the thing, right? We all know style makes fights, right? So when you think about, the Ravens versus Cincinnati, Lamar Jackson's 4-1 against Joe Burrow. But then when you think about Joe Burrow, he's 3-1 against Patrick Mahomes, right? Because styles make fights. So it depends on who's going to match up. Because, a lot of times, like when you think about it, right, we could always beat the Patriots, but the Steelers can never beat the Patriots, right? And in the year that the Steelers won the Super Bowl, it's a year where we knocked off the Patriots. So the amazing thing about the run that the Kansas City Chiefs have had is not, the different, people that have come in and come out and been part of the championships. It's the fact that the core has always remained healthy. They haven't had to face that crazy injury, right? Lamar Jackson during this run has been injured. Joe Burrow during this run has been injured.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is always available. Travis Kelce is always available. Chris Jones is always available, right? So I think, their medical staff to me, is their MVP, the fact that they can keep everybody healthy. Not 100%, but healthy enough to win championships. For me, it has to be Joe Burrow because, you talk about the uncharacteristic things that the Ravens, did. They choked. Everything was in their favor. They were at their home stadium. They had an opportunity, and they forgot that they were a running football team. And they blinked first. And another thing that concerns me about the Ravens is much about the same concerns that we had with the Philadelphia Eagles last year. They lost both their coordinators. They also lost Anthony Weaver, who's the defensive coordinator now. So now teams are attacking and taking those great minds that the Ravens have had within that locker room. And sometimes, that becomes diluted and it becomes tough for teams to repeat. Joe Burrow, for some reason, Lou Amoroso knows how to beat Andy Reid. He always saves something. So you talk about the chess match that happens, and I think Joe Burrow is going to be scorched earth if he can get past the Ravens.
Yeah, for me, I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow. The simple fact that, like you mentioned, that 3-1 record versus Patrick Mahomes, and that's something to be said, right?
4-0.
There's only two quarterbacks, right, in the history of the NFL to beat Patrick Mahomes in a playoff setting. One of those being Joe Burrow, the other one being Tom Brady, who's no longer, playing the game of football. He's now in the broadcasting booth. And also, like when I look at Joe and I look at his presence in the pocket, I don't think anybody plays the quarterback position better than Joe Burrow from a pocket standpoint. Two hands on the football, feeling things around him, still keeping his eyes downfield. Literally, I was at that playoff game when he got sacked, I think 8 or 9 times versus the Tennessee Titans. And I kept saying to myself, at what point am I going to see this quarterback body language change, his demeanor change? And at no point did I see that from Joe Burrow. So number one, that told me everything I needed to see from him at the quarterback position. But I think also a major factor in this, because you talked about health with the Kansas City Chiefs, and they've been extremely healthy. That's the number one thing I think can hurt them from three-peating. Secondly, being the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow. But health for Joe Burrow, having that right wrist injury, how's he going to be? Is it going to affect him? It's different if it's on his left hand, but it's on his throwing arm.